Good evening and hello. My name is Renee D. Waring, and I am the founder of Uniquely and Wonderfully Made Ministries. Welcome to you all, and a special welcome to the new members of my community. I am glad to be able to speak with you this evening. My name is Renee, Renee, middle initial D as in Deirdre, Waring, Warring, and I am the warrior warring against mental illness and how it is perceived by the public. Here at Uniquely and Wonderfully Made Ministries, we purpose to change the hearts and minds of the public by putting forth evidence to support the assertion that people who have mental illness have value. I am the president and owner of Uniquely and Wonderfully Made Ministries. We provide the following services. We publish videos on hot topics on mental illness on the fourth Friday of each month on my YouTube channel. I published a book that helps people to understand and to gain a greater understanding about the challenges of mental illness. Our mission statement here at Uniquely and Wonderfully Made Ministries, we endeavor through writing and public speaking to educate and motivate the general public to one, have an understanding of and empathize with people who have mental illness. Two, to see people who have mental illness as equals in the brotherhood of humanity. And three, to include people who have mental illness in the mainstream of society by making sure that they get the same opportunities that others receive. We at Uniquely and Wonderfully Made Ministries, also known as UW capital U capital W capital M Ministries.com. We advocate for people who have mental illness, and I am known as the Warrior Warring, which is my brand. I am an activist for social and healthcare issues, a war against mental illness and how it is perceived by the public. I have written 3 books on mental health. The ideas put forth in those books are the cornerstone of my ministry. I will be publishing other books in the future. The second edition of the Warrior Warring, Warring, second edition was published on January of 2019. I survived 4 suicide attempts prior to seeking treatment for my schizophrenia. I am a native of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and I hold a BA degree in psychology from Temple University of Philadelphia, PA. Do you feel uneasy, uncomfortable, or maybe even fearful when you are around people who have mental health conditions? In my book, The Warrior Warring Second Edition, you will gain a greater understanding about people who have mental illness, and and you will gain a greater understanding about the people who have mental illness. You will also gain an understanding about the challenges they have with mental illness. Do you believe People with mental illness do mass shootings. In my book, you will learn the truth about this horrible crime. In my book, you will learn how political, healthcare, law enforcement, and prison systems affect people who have mental illness. Do you know the warning signs that a person has a plan to commit suicide? In my book, you will learn what the warning signs and thereby you can save a life. Do you have mental illness and feel useless and of no value? In my book, The Warrior Warring Second Edition, you will learn what your true value and worth is. In The Warrior Warring Second Edition, you may be asking yourself, why should I buy my book? The reason for purchasing a book is to gain a greater understanding about the challenges of mental illness. There are people with mental illness. There are people, they have false, people have false or negative stereotypes about people who have mental illness. I want to state that people who have mental illness are not perpetrators of crime. They are victims of crime. Find out who the perpetrators are in mass shootings. Learn what the inequities are for people who have mental illness in the political, healthcare, law enforcement, and prison systems. The numbers of people committing suicide in the United States of America is at an all-time high. Learn how you can save a life of a family member or friend. On November 1st of 2023, I published my memoir. It's called The Lemonade of Mental Illness. What happens when a child witnesses an extremely traumatic event? What happens when we don't recognize the extent of the damage done to a child as a result of this traumatic event? Is it possible that schizophrenia or other mental health illnesses can be passed down or inherited as a result of experiences of childhood? In this book, The Lemonade of Mental Illness, I give a kind of insight into mental illness that is not often discussed in many communities. I talk about how the trauma my mother and other relatives suffered by being forced to view multiple family and community lynchings that worked itself into the lives of my family members down through at least one generation to me in the form of schizophrenia. I and my family sadly discovered that severe trauma can be passed down from generation to generation. As a community, what are we missing when it comes to caring for those who are affected by these illnesses? I transparently share how I have walked this mental illness path and what I have learned from it. I believe, quote, that we who have mental illness are lemonade. God takes the bitter lemons of our mental health breakdown and adds the sugar of His power to enable us to become His ambassadors to the world. Lemonade with the lemonade of hope, love, and our abilities. We are lemonade that refreshes the world. So please purchase my book, The Warring, WARRING, second edition. Look under Amazon.com under my name, Renee D. Warren, and purchase your copy of The Warring Second Edition and The Lemonade of Mental Illness. You can also look on YouTube and find my videos. I have published over 120 videos about hot topics to educate people on hot topics about mental health. Please view my videos. Look under Renee D. Waring on YouTube and you will find my free videos. Thank you and God bless you all.